What if I told you that one of the world's biggest pop stars was once homeless, addicted to drugs, and dropped out of high school at 17? And that his rise to fame involved a complete mystery that had the entire music industry guessing. This is the insane, true story of The Weeknd. And trust me, it gets darker than you think. But first, let me blow your mind with this fact. The Weeknd has the most streamed song in Spotify's entire history. Blinding Lights has been played over 3 billion times. But here's the crazy part. When he first started releasing music, nobody knew who he was. Like, literally nobody. Picture this. It's 2011. 3 mysterious mixtapes drop on the internet. No artist name, no photos, no interviews, just these haunting, dark R&B tracks that sound like nothing anyone's ever heard before. The internet goes absolutely insane trying to figure out who this mystery artist is. Some people thought it was Drake. Others thought it was a completely new artist. The truth? It was a 21-year-old kid from Toronto who was about to change music forever. Meet Abel Tesfaye, but you probably know him as The Weeknd. Born February 16, 1990 in Toronto to Ethiopian parents who separated right after he was born. Raised by his mom and grandmother in Scarborough, and if you know Toronto, you know Scarborough isn't exactly the glamorous part of town. Here's where it gets real. At 17, Abel makes a decision that most parents would have nightmares about. He drops out of high school and moves into a sketchy apartment in Parkdale with 2 friends. Why? Because he wanted to live like there were no rules. No parents, no school, no responsibilities. But here's the part that'll shock you. This wasn't some rebellious phase. This was survival mode. Abel was homeless multiple times. He got arrested. He was doing every drug you can think of. He literally said drugs were his crutch when writing music. And get this, he chose his stage name The Weeknd because he literally left home on a weekend. He dropped the E to avoid copyright issues with some random Canadian band. Talk about humble beginnings, right? So picture this. It's 2009. Abel's living this crazy lifestyle, doing drugs, barely getting by. But something magical happens. He starts making music. Not just any music. He's creating this dark, atmospheric sound that nobody has ever heard before. 2011 becomes his breakthrough year. He drops 3 mixtapes in 1 year: House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence. But here's the genius part. He releases them anonymously. No face, no name, no interviews, just pure mystery. The internet absolutely explodes. Music blogs are going crazy trying to figure out who this is. The sound is so unique. It's R&B, but it's dark, it's haunting, it's addictive. People are calling it alternative R&B, and it's literally creating a whole new genre. But wait, it gets better. Major labels start circling like sharks. Everyone wants to sign this mystery artist. And when Abel finally reveals himself, the industry is shook. This isn't some manufactured pop star. This is a real artist with a real story. Fast forward to 2015, and Abel makes a decision that changes everything. He decides to go mainstream with Beauty Behind the Madness, and let me tell you, this album is unstoppable. Can't Feel My Face hits #1. The Hills hits #1. This dark, mysterious artist is now dominating mainstream radio. But here's what's crazy. He's not changing his sound to fit the mainstream. He's making the mainstream come to him. Then 2016 happens. Starboy drops, and it's like nothing anyone's ever heard. The Daft Punk collaboration? Genius! The song goes to #1 in like 15 countries. But this is just the beginning of his world domination. 2020 is when things get absolutely insane. After Hours drops and Blinding Lights becomes the biggest song in the world. Not just big, the biggest. It spends 88 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. It becomes the longest charting song in chart history at the time. But here's the mind-blowing part. Blinding Lights is now the most streamed song in Spotify's history. Over 3 billion streams. That's like every person on Earth has listened to it. And it's not just Blinding Lights. The Weeknd has 27 songs with over 1 billion streams. 27! But success comes with drama, and The Weeknd's controversies are wild! Let's start with the Grammy drama. 2021, After Hours gets 0 Grammy nominations. 0. For one of the biggest albums of the year. Abel is so mad he boycotts the Grammys entirely. He says he'll never submit his music again. But then there's the Idol situation. 2023, Abel creates this HBO show that becomes one of the most controversial shows on television. People are calling it torture porn. The original director gets fired, crew members are alleging toxic work environments. The internet is going crazy. And Abel's response? He mocks the critics on Twitter, posts a clip from the show making fun of Rolling Stone. The backlash is intense. But here's the twist. Even with all the controversy, people can't stop talking about him. The Drake feud is legendary. It starts because of Bella Hadid. Yes, the supermodel. Abel and Drake both dated her, and things get messy. Abel starts taking shots at Drake in his songs. Drake fires back. The internet is choosing sides. But then they make up in 2022. Everyone thinks it's over. Wrong. March 2024. Abel jumps on a Future and Metro Boomin track and basically calls Drake a sellout. The feud is back on, and it's messier than ever. February 7, 2021. Super Bowl 55. The Weeknd gets the biggest stage in entertainment. 100 million people watching. The pressure is insane. But Abel doesn't just perform. He creates art. The Hall of Mirrors, the bandaged dancers, the pyrotechnics. It's not just a halftime show. It's a cinematic experience. And the numbers? The performance gets watched by over 100 million people. It becomes one of the most watched halftime shows in history. This kid who was homeless just years before is now performing for the entire world. Remember the Grammy boycott? Well, plot twist. February 2025, Abel is back at the Grammys. After 4 years of boycotting, he returns to perform. The internet is shook. Nobody saw this coming. It's like watching someone return from exile. His new album, Hurry Up Tomorrow, drops in 2025, and even though critics hate the movie, the music is still dominating charts. Timeless becomes another top 5 hit. This man literally cannot be stopped. Let's talk numbers because they're insane! The Weeknd has sold over 75 million records worldwide. He has 7 diamond certifications. He's the first artist to hold the top 3 spots on the R&B charts simultaneously. Time magazine called him one of the most influential people in the world. But it's not just music. He's got endorsement deals with Puma, H&M, Bacardi. He's investing in companies. He's got his own record label, XO Records. This man has built an empire. Here's something that might surprise you. The Weeknd is secretly one of the most generous artists in the world. He's donated millions to humanitarian causes, 1 million to the UN World Food Program, 2 million to provide bread for families in Gaza. He's a UN Goodwill Ambassador. He's donated to Black Lives Matter, to disaster relief, to food security programs. This man who came from nothing is now giving back millions. That's character right there. Behind the success, The Weeknd's personal life has been just as dramatic as his music. His high-profile relationships have been newsworthy gold. Bella Hadid, year-and-a-half relationship, split in 2016. Selena Gomez, 10-month relationship that inspired his entire My Dear Melancholy EP. Brief rumors with Angelina Jolie, currently dating DJ Simi Khadra since 2022. Surprised? The crazy part? His breakups directly inspire his music. My Dear Melancholy was literally his heartbreak over Selena Gomez turned into art. And success came with a price, and The Weeknd's journey has been filled with controversy. Multiple plagiarism lawsuits have followed him throughout his career. Sued over Starboy for copying a 2009 song. Sued over Call Out My Name for copying an unreleased 2015 track. Multiple other copyright battles. Then there's the problematic lyrics, songs with racist and sexist content that fans often ignore. When confronted, Abel claimed these were just personas. But critics argue that's not an excuse. So what's The Weeknd's legacy? He literally created a new genre. Alternative R&B exists because of him. He proved that dark, atmospheric music could dominate mainstream charts. He showed that mystery and artistry could coexist with commercial success. 4 Grammy Awards, 20 Billboard Music Awards, 22 Juno Awards, an Oscar nomination? Records that will probably never be broken. And he's only 35 years old. Here's the real truth about The Weeknd. He's proof that authenticity wins. In an industry full of manufactured artists, he stayed true to his dark, mysterious vision. He didn't change for the mainstream, he made the mainstream change for him. From a homeless high school dropout doing drugs in Toronto to the most streamed artist in Spotify history. From complete anonymity to global superstardom. From controversy to redemption. The Weeknd's story isn't just about music, it's about transformation. And the craziest part, he's probably just getting started.